Hello and welcome to your weekly trumpet lesson on page 6 in your Sound Innovations book. So make sure you have your trumpet all put together and all set to go, and also make sure you have turned to page 6 in your book. The first two songs, really not much different than what we did on page 5. They're just using those 3 notes that you have already learned. They're just starting to add a few more to them. You're just playing a little bit longer songs. So let's start out right away. We're going to start right out with 3-note combo. Remember, nice slow air, stay nice and relaxed. Don't need to make your air too fast. When notes share the same fingers, don't lift your fingers up and put them back down to move from note to note. Keep those shared fingers down. So here we go, 3-note combo. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. And that is 3-note combo. Again, remember, anytime throughout this that you need to do more practice, either back the video up so you can go through it again, or you can pause it to practice it at your own speed, especially as the songs start getting a little faster. Not a big deal on this page, but in future pages where songs do get much faster, you might want to pause it and slow them down a little bit to work through whatever you need to. So always remember, you can always pause it or back it up and play along with me a couple times in a row, or a bunch of times. Doesn't matter. Not all the time you'll move through 1 page a week. You might find that 2 or 3 songs take you maybe a week or 2 to get through, and then you might get to another part in your book where you might get through 2 or 3 pages in a day. So some parts of the book are going to go a little faster than others, and it's going to be different for all of you. So don't worry if somebody's moving a little quicker than you. There's nothing wrong with that. You move at your own pace, because the better you get at all these basics, the easier things will be down the road for you. All right, third time's the charm. Starts on an E valve, 1 and 2. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. And there is third time's the charm. All right, let's look down at number 8. We have a new word here called solo. Some of you may have heard this word before. Solo means just one person playing by themselves or with somebody else playing behind them, called an accompanist or an accompaniment. Either way, sometimes a band can be accompanying you playing as a soloist, and sometimes you might have a little solo part. And a solo means you are just playing a certain piece by yourself. Now, in number 8, you're going to notice above each measure, it says solo, band, solo, band, solo, band, and so on. Normally when we have a band rehearsal, we can practice that, because there's about 15 or 20 of us playing, so we can practice playing a solo and the band so you can hear the difference. Right now you're just playing at home on your own or playing along with me, so it's kind of hard to really do that practice. So I just want you to play through the song and just ignore the solo and band. I just wanted you to understand what that meant so you at least know what's going on. Now, in number 8, what you're going to notice is up until now you've played a note, you've rested for 4 beats. You played a note, you've rested for 4 beats. Number 8, you play note after note after note after note after note. So you got to make sure you take a breath and you got to keep it going. So your fingers have to change a little bit quicker now. So here we go. Number 8. 1, 2, ready, go. And that is match the pitch. You might have to go through that one a few times to get practice at it. Remember, whole notes get 4 beats. Ta, ah, ah, ah. So ta, ta. And you want to make sure you're starting each note with a ta sound. That'll help you get the note right out. All right, down to number 9. The new thing we see here is called a breath mark. Now, what's the point of a breath mark? It helps you know where are good places to breathe. You wouldn't be talking in a conversation like this. Really hard to understand. You've learned as you've grown up and gone through school that you take breaths usually at the beginning and ends of sentences. Same idea with music. You wouldn't play a song taking a breath in the middle of a melody, which you'll see in future pages. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So when you see that comma symbol, that all that means is just that's a suggested place to take a breath. So now we're going to look down at number 9, a breath of fresh air. These next 3 songs, we're going to kind of go straight through them. There's nothing new to them. You have your same 3 notes of your E, your D, and your C. There's no space in between, so you're doing all whole notes. They just change the order that the notes come. So here we go, a breath of fresh air, number 9. Starts on your E, valve 1 and 2. 1, 2, ready, go. So there's a breath of fresh air. Again, please pause the video or back it up and play it through a couple times so you're not just doing it once and move on. If you get it right the first time, awesome. Go on to the next one. But if anything gives you trouble, please pause the video and practice. Don't just go through them once and say you're good no matter how it went. And remember, if your notes are coming out too high, your air is too fast. Slow your air down. If you're coming out too low, your air is too slow. Make your air a little bit faster. Okay, so here we go. Number 10, breathing easy. 1, 2, ready, go. There's number 10, breathing easy. Let's move on to number 11. 3 Easy Does It. My page got cut off a little bit, so I had to write in the notes. That's why it doesn't look as good as in your book. So remember, make sure you're following along in your book. And also the other thing you're going to notice too is my music stand is down a little bit because I want the camera to be able to see me better. Your stand should be up so you're able to see your music a little easier and you're not slouching over trying to get a good sound out because that's really hard. Almost impossible to play well with your head down like this. You can't even talk very well. So make sure that your stand is up nice and you kind of got your bell point. Remember, you want your bell not down, not way up, just kind of pointing down a little bit. So here we go. 3 Easy Does It. Starts on an E, 1 and 2. 1, 2, ready, go. And that is 3 Easy Does It, and that concludes your lesson of page 6. Remember, get good at this page before you go on to the next one, because especially the next page, we're going to start learning a lot different things, and if you're not good at this stuff, those things are going to be really, really difficult. So I will see you in your next lesson, and that concludes the lesson of page 6.